What's up, guys? It's your boy Tiger Baskins and Fishing Football. You are on another session, or I say episode of college football with your boys. The plan right now is to come at you with a few key points of this offseason for Georgia and Florida. And we figured since we both know each other, it's actually Fishing's idea that we would give you guys some just some hot points, some key points this offseason for us. So first thing we'll start with is quarterbacks. You want to go first? Well, actually, Fishing, you got anything to say? You want to say anything to anybody?
No, I think it's interesting, coming off a natty for Georgia and then a first year head coach in Billy Napier. So I think it's a good point to talk about. But yeah, I mean, we can start with quarterbacks. I was wondering about your take on the Georgia quarterbacks. Is Stetson going to start? What do y'all want?
Now, I think we're in a similar situation to when Jake Fromm had just come off of a national championship appearance. We had Justin Fields sitting in the stable, and everybody knew we wanted Justin Fields to be that guy. But I think Stetson deserves the start because of what he did. But I don't think we shouldn't let the ship go down and him stay at let him be the captain. I think at some point, if he starts messing up, you can't be afraid to pull him. If this offseason Brock is looking better than him, I think you do it. But for Georgia, we have Brock Vandagriff, who in my eyes I feel should take over the helm if Stetson can't do it. 6'3", 225, runs a 4.5 40, and all the mobility that Stetson Bennett had, Brock actually has that. So that's kind of my deal. It's the best quarterback room we've ever had at Georgia. We got Brock, who's a 5-star. Gunnar Stockton's a 5-star. Carson Beck was a high 4-star. So we look good. But what about you guys?
I think it's a good point too. I think it's a good point too because if it somehow doesn't work for Stetson this year and y'all don't put anybody in, that screws you up for next year too with experience.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I agree completely. Then you'll have, oh my goodness, you'll have multiple quarterbacks coming in who are just lost.
Yeah, and that too, and somebody's gonna end up leaving. So you don't want to lose these people either. Gunnar Stockton, Brock, even Carson Beck, you're gonna lose somebody. So yeah,
I know, and I think we will, especially if we end up getting Arch Manning, which everybody keeps saying that it's close to us getting him. I don't believe it, but
yeah, that's a crapshoot, but
yeah. So anyway, what about Florida? What you guys got?
Man, the quarterback room is pretty decent. It's kind of all eggs in one basket type of thing though with Anthony Richardson because he's a tight end, a running back, and a quarterback all in one. He's built like Tebow kind of, so the ceiling is really really high. I've heard a lot of people talk about Jack Miller and him come from Ohio State. Everybody liked him there and all that. From what I've seen from him, all he knows how to do is throw bullets. He doesn't have any really touch on the ball.
Really?
So I don't know. I've seen he just throws a gun every time. So I don't know if Billy can unlock something there, but I have seen practice clips. He's looking better. But other than that, no quarterback on the whole team has taken any snaps other than Anthony Richardson, and it's only been a few. And his TD to interception ratio is 6-5. So
I know, and
the
I think
thing about that though, the thing about that though is 2 of them came in the Georgia game, which is the first game he started, and that was the best defense in college football. So kind of a good point there, I guess, but it still is 5 interceptions and 6 TDs. So
yeah, I mean he was electric though. I know there were multiple highlights that I would see, and I'm like, that's a quarterback. Like the one where he took off for 30 yards, ends up hurdling a guy, and I'm like, that's a quarterback. Like, and he's huge. He's not a little kid. He's not skinny. He's thick, dude. He's like Brock Bowers at quarterback.
Yeah, he really is. When you see him hold the ball, his hand's almost bigger than the whole damn ball. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, okay, I could see that then. I could see AR-15 holding the helm and just kind of being this key to the first year for Florida.
Yeah, it's gonna need to be.
Yes, and he'll only be a sophomore, right?
I think redshirt sophomore. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might be wrong on that, but yeah.
All right, we got a second round. Running backs. Let you start. Tell me about some Florida running backs.
So we got 2 5-stars, one from Miami, one from Clemson. We got Bowman and Lingard. They haven't played a lot at all, but when we've seen them play, they play really, really good. They're both fast and shifty.
Okay.
They're really good running backs. Just haven't seen anything from them. And we lost 2 running backs last year with Pierce and Davis. And then we got Naquan Wright coming back. He's off of injury. Naquan Wright was good last year in the Alabama game. He had the comeback drive in the end. But we haven't seen a lot from any of them. Got a Louisiana transfer. He had like 938 yards, 10 TDs in a freshman
I
season.
heard about him. Yeah, I
So
heard.
it's
And
a
he's a
lot
true
to look
freshman, right?
forward to. He was a true
Yeah.
freshman. Yeah. So it's a lot to look forward to, but it's going to come down to the offensive line. We'll get to that. But a lot of hope there. So what about y'all's running backs? Is anybody coming back?
So this will be the most. I guess I'm most curious about our running back room this year because we do this whole rotate everybody in and out type deal,
Uh-huh.
and James Cook and Zamir White for us are 1 and 2. We'll probably go in the first 3 rounds. I'm thinking James Cook may go either late first or early second, but they were good. But the guys behind them, Kendall Milton, 5-star running back, and then Kenny McIntosh, I want to say was a 5-star running back. They have yet to be able to take a full load, and I think they can. I just want to see what it's going to look like. I'm curious about our 3 guy, which his name's Dejon Edwards. Dude is nice, and they just no, I want to say he was probably a 3-star, but he's been the 5th guy for the last 2 years, and now he'll move up to the 3rd guy. And when I say dude is nice, the games that he's been in, it might be a blowout for us, but the other team knows we're going to run the ball. Dude will, I mean, he'll pull out 70, 80 yards in like 5, 6 carries. Like he's really, really shifty. And I know it's because he's the guy that's going against the number 1 defense. You talk about scout team, he's the guy going against that defense all day, every day. So it's going to make you better. Of course it is. Last one, we have a guy coming in named Brian Robinson. He looks like the Hulk, like those pictures of Arnold Schwarzenegger that when he's working out and he's all like jacked, like that's what he looks. He looks bigger than when Nick Chubb came in. He looks bigger than that. And he's a running back.
You got somebody named Brian Robinson coming in?
Huh?
Like Brian Robinson, Alabama Brian Robinson?
I want to say it's it's Branson Robinson. That's his name. Okay. Yeah, my bad. He beat me up just for saying that. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to redshirt him. I would, but at the same time,
Milton, yeah, I would.
But he'll only be the 4th running back, so it's like there may be a game where you want to save your first 2, 3.
That's true.
So you let him get carries against some trash. So
yeah, he can play for him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he can. And so anyways, that's kind of it for me. Curious about
what about y'all's offensive line? This is like the position nobody knows any names. It's always overlooked, but it's probably the most important. Well, do y'all have anybody coming back, or are y'all losing a lot of people?
We lost 2 starters, but we played without 3. Like last year, we had the 2 starters who were going to the NFL this year. Well, our right guard, Tate Ratledge, who's actually his mom lives like not even 3 minutes. She lives in the same neighborhood. He was a 5-star coming out of high school, started as a redshirt freshman against Clemson, and on the first play, tore something in his foot. Very first play of the game. And so, but he's back now. So it's good to have him back. But you also have people who throughout the year were being able to step up and play. So there's a lot of experience for us. It's just who's going to be the first 5. We got a guy come in, Amarius Mims, was like the number 1 tackle in the nation. He's like 6'6", 6'7", whatever, huge. But for me, our offensive line, not saying Matt Luke wasn't great, but since we got Matt Luke, our offensive line became very all around. Usually we're a run team. We push everybody off the ball, but I don't know. I mean, we were good, but there were, like I said, there were just times where it just didn't look like old offensive line. But we have the players. We have better players now than we've ever had. So we got to see something.
Y'all are stacked everywhere.
Yeah. But what about Florida though? I haven't heard a whole lot about Florida's offensive line.
So Florida's offensive line has been trash for a long time now. But the one thing we can look forward to, when Billy Napier was at Louisiana, and there's people right now being drafted this year from his offensive lineman. Yeah. And we got 2 transfers from there, but it's been proven that he can develop offensive linemen, and he's kind of like Kirby too a little bit, I guess. He's a run first type. He's more of an offensive coach, but he's a run first type coach. So, but he developed offensive linemen from what we've seen pretty well. But we got Osiris Torrance coming in from Louisiana. He could have went anywhere. He could have went to Bama. He could have went really anywhere, but he's projected to be an all SEC offensive lineman. So that's really big. He could be the best player on the whole team. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Okay.
But we got him coming in, which is good. Billy was able to convince him to come. Then he got another transfer, which is Cameron Waits. He's 6'8", I think 370. He's just huge.
Goodness.
Yeah, he's a humongous. He's just gonna take up a lot of space. So that alone is gonna, we didn't have anybody going to the draft really. I think maybe one offensive lineman went, and that's just because he was.
So you'll have experience and all that coming back.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience, not much talent, but it's a lot of experience. But bringing the transfers in, like we talked about the running backs, the running back room was loaded at Florida, so it was really, really necessary to bring that in because that's kind of a season. It's just going to make the whole season better. It could have been really bad if we had the same offensive line. So it was really important, and I'm pretty glad he did that because it really could have been bad because what we'll get to in a minute is the defense. The defense is very suspect, but so the offense has got to at least be up to par. So, and I think that'll help.
Now, I guess what I'll do is we will jump into defense then. Well, no, let's hit wide receivers before we go defense. I know both of us don't have a whole lot to say about the wide receivers for both of our teams, but I'll let you start. Tell me about the wideouts or what you're expecting from the wideouts this year.
Not very much. Of course, we had Emory Jones throwing the ball last year, so it's kind of hard to tell. Xavier Henderson, Trent Whittemore, Justin Shorter, and that's kind of about it. We got some, younger players that might step up. There's a 4-star Marcus Burke. We'll see, but there's not really much there. And what kind of bothered me about when Billy first came in, he didn't really recruit any wide receivers. Now, looking back, I understand because he got the offensive line problem taken care of first, and stuff like that. So I understand why he was kind of building the position players, but that's something I'm going to want a lot more of in the future. I want high-rated quarterbacks recruited and high-rated wide receivers. That's really what I want. But there's not much there. There's Justin Shorter, he's good. Brent Whittemore, good. It's going to be a step-up situation. That's just all it comes down to. Everybody's just got to step up.
Okay. Well, look, I'm going to skip my part on the wide receivers, and I'm going to let you start because I just got a phone call from one of my kids, and they know not to interrupt me when I'm on YouTube, so it's got to be something important. But I'm going to let you start with defense, starting with the D-line. What you got?
Not much on the D-line. Gervon Dexter, he's good. Princely Humanely's coming in. He hasn't played a lot, but Gervon's really good. But other than Gervon, there ain't much there. There just ain't much there.
Okay.
Well, not much at all.
I need you to add
other than the people coming in and Gervon and Princely, it's not nothing really there with any experience.
Okay, sorry. Literally, I said, hey, I called her back. I said, yo, you good? She goes, you know what I did today? I was like, bro, look, can I call you back? I'm doing a show. Yeah. All right, bye. All right. Like, bro, look, I know you're excited. Huh?
What about y'all's D-line? Y'all are deep. Y'all are pretty deep. Losing a lot.
Okay, so this is my part. This is where I get excited. The D-line was already going to be good. We already have talent. I get that completely. We had Robert Beal. Robert Beal and Nolan Smith who came back. Both started the last 4 or 5 games for us. I know Nolan started the whole year.
Nolan Smith, yeah.
Robert Beal started the last 4 or 5 games ever since Adam Anderson, that whole deal happened and he couldn't play. Robert Beal led the team in sacks. He started the last 5 games and, acclimated, I think, enough sacks to be the leader on the team in sacks. He decided he's coming back. Nolan Smith decides he's coming back. So now the edge for us will now continue to be the best edge in the SEC. Well, then Jalen Carter, who was our D tackle, who's behind Jordan Davis and Devontae White, who will both be first and second round picks. Jalen Carter has already been stated as the best player on Georgia's football team. He is a sophomore. He is ridiculous.
100%.
So for me, if 3 out of the 4 guys on the D line are great, you don't have that all the time in the SEC. We will have that for a second year in a row. So I know people are like, oh yeah, but you weren't as good as last year. That's not my point. My point is championship team. We just had it. Not many people repeat. Why? Because they lose people. Well, for
Yep.
us, yes, we lost people, but we also have people coming back in areas that you need them. We don't have, I mean, we do, but it's not like I'm crunk about a right guard coming back. Oh man, it's gonna be great to have this right guard. No. If we had all 5 guys come back on the offensive line, I'd be excited. But to have our entire edge come back, to have guys who have rotated in, D tackles who have played, I'm so crunk about being able to have a set edge that can stop the run game.
Yeah,
So
that's
for me,
important.
I'm very excited about that because I know the offense is going to have to step up, and I was a little worried about that until we got these guys back. So
Yeah, and
for me,
that's
that's
the
it.
important thing. That's why everybody loves Kirby. They love Kirby so much. He
Yeah,
recruits like that. So he's what is this? Is it his 5th year?
I think, or he's going into a 6 maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So having all that time recruiting, I mean, that's why he does it, to get set up for years like this. When you lose all
And
that talent, you're all sitting on the bench ready. So
yes,
that's what it
and what
comes
I
in.
love too is he's so honest with these guys. Like Robert Bill, you played 5 games and you got the most sacks on the team. Not many people have seen you play a lot, so you don't have a lot of film, bro. What if
I ain't
you
gonna lie,
come
I've
back
never
for
heard
a
of him.
whole year? Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie,
So what if you
never heard
come
of him.
back for a whole year and you dominate another year full, get
Hmm.
more sacks instead of being a 3rd round pick, you be a 1st round.
Yeah,
Nolan Smith, same thing. Like you played and you did good, but I need you to come help me lead this team to another. You'll go first. So I don't know. You're right. And I
yeah.
guess
That's another thing too, because you need leaders on the defense, and you lose all them people, but you got Nolan Smith coming back and all that, so you still have that there. It's not like you're losing all of it. You're
yeah,
losing
yeah.
a lot.
And
You're losing a lot. Don't get me wrong, but with them coming back, you're not losing at all. So
they said
that's important too.
last year Nolan Smith was the biggest leader on the team. So that makes me happy that when he decided to stay, I was like, yes, we're bringing that back.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah, and
moving on
that means
to
more than just talent too. That means a lot more to the whole team or the whole defense or unit group
yeah,
or whatever.
especially when you have the talent already, the
Yeah,
leadership is what helps. That demanding of excellence. Like, you have a lot of smart kids in class, but if your teacher is trash, then you know.
facts. Perfect example. Yep.
So, uh, I'll start with linebackers. We'll move on. I'll start with linebackers. So this is where the question mark comes in for Georgia. We lost all 3 of our linebackers. All 3 of
Hmm.
our linebackers will go in the first 2 rounds,
Yep.
which is amazing. But the thing to me is the place that I told you about the whole new job opportunity that I'm possibly getting. Uh,
Hmm.
the boss there is his son is Small Munden Jr., who is
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Georgia. He's a redshirt sophomore this year. He's going into his redshirt sophomore season. The highest rated linebacker Georgia has ever signed in history.
I know we wanted him.
Okay.
We wanted him.
Yes. And
I
and then you
remember.
got Xavier Howard, who's another linebacker, and then there's one more. I always forget his name, but those 3 guys, I can tell Kirby recruited a little differently. Quay
Hmm.
Walker was 6'4", 240. These guys, they're in that 6'2", 6'3", 205 to 220 range, and all run 4.4s. So he is adapting to this new college football style of high-powered offense and quick screen.
Yep.
I'm curious. I know they won't be great, but at least they got to learn from 3 NFL linebackers.
And it sounds to me like they're quick. That's kind of what the game is coming to: rushing quarterbacks and then covering people down the
Yeah,
middle or whatever. Yeah. So the quickness is really good for that position too. Um, Florida lost a lot too, but not to the draft, to transfers. I think we had Diabate transfer.
damn.
It's slipping my mind now. Tyron Hopper. Just people that the main people on the linebacker core are transferring, losing
Yeah.
a lot. We got Britton
Why now?
Cox.
Why do you think that is though? Why do you think they would transfer?
I think most of the transfers are coming from the unknown of the new coaching thing. I think Dan Mullen kind of put everybody in a salty mood, but I think
Yeah, yeah,
toward the end of the season, everybody. I mean, I kind of stay close to it, but I hear things like, I mean, just everybody was just checked out. Everybody was completely checked out at the end of the year, and
yeah.
Emory Jones took so much heat for that when it was everybody on the damn team. So that's another whole topic, really. But yeah, a lot of people transferred out, but Britton Cox got him from Georgia.
Yes,
He's coming back.
sir.
He's gonna have a good year. I
I
highly believe
love
he's gonna have
Brenton
a good
Cox,
year.
bro.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
him.
he's good. And Ventrell Miller. Other than that, I think I'm missing somebody. There's one more. But kind of just young team, young group. So and we didn't recruit for it. Just kind of like the wide receivers didn't recruit it this year. So kind of not much real hope going into that.
Yeah, got you.
So
Okay,
worry of
well,
mine too.
I appreciate that's honesty though, and that's the whole reason I'm glad we're doing this is because to hear it from your side, like for me, I could just say, oh well, we'll just see how they do, and it's like hear it from your side, it's a little bit of like anguish, a little bit of I'm disappointed. I am curious to see how we do, but like it sounds like you need Billy Napier to come in and set some type of standard that Dan
Yeah,
Mullen has just completely erased any kind of standard that there was at Florida.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. We'll get with that with the preview and all that.
yeah,
But yeah, there's something really big. I mean, most people are like, this season doesn't matter what he does. It's his first year. He lost all these players. Blah blah blah. Now, there still is some merit to what he does this year. So,
I agree. I
but
agree.
yeah,
We'll
but
move on
y'all were
to safeties.
yeah,
What?
yeah, y'all were really on safeties last year.
Oh,
Little thin.
okay. So safety for me, we lost Lewis Seen. Uh, the thing was we had Chris Smith and Lewis Seen starting for us, right? We had them. Well,
Hmm.
Chris Smith decided to come back. Played well enough. Could have went to the draft. Could have been in first 3-4 rounds. Like, and that's good. But for him to come back, I love it, of course. But then on top of that, Chris Smith is also the guy that started the season out for us with the pick six on DJ Uyunglele.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
in Georgia,
Right.
this is a cool fact. Georgia started the season out with a pick six as our first touchdown, and we ended the season with a
Ended it.
pick six on Bryce Young. So
Right.
really,
Yeah.
really cool fact. Will probably never happen again for any football team in history. But Taki Smith was supposed to start. We were supposed to have Taki Smith, the transfer from West Virginia. He got hurt in the spring.
Got hurt. Yep.
So he didn't even get to play. So now you had Lewis Seen, who just went to the draft and will go first round just because of he dominated the draft. Even if he goes first two, he still don't get paid.
Yep.
Now they're looking at it as do they put Taki Smith at the star position or do they move him to safety? But from what I'm hearing, this guy named Kamari Lassiter, who we got 2 years ago, he'll be going into a second year now. He runs like a high 4.3 or like a 4.4 flat. Like, dude is stupid fast, but it's killer with ball skills. And they're saying that safety wise, we are going to look better this year just because of the experience from a lot of guys.
Yeah, I would
So
think so.
last thing, I am excited because we are loaded with DBs, like cornerbacks especially. I'm hoping that Kirby is that mindset. And I think he is. He'll take one or two of those cornerbacks and let them cross train.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you guys? What's safety looking like?
So probably the best part of the whole defense. Say we're pretty experienced and semi-talented, but mainly experienced. A lot of dudes played pretty decent last year, even though it
Yeah.
doesn't really seem like it. Jason Marshall was a 5-star. He's gonna be. Do you know who Kyrie Elam is?
Yes. Yeah.
I think he's gonna take over that spot.
I actually
Before
wait. What grade is he in? I thought he left.
he's a no, yeah, Kyrie Elam left, yeah.
No. I'm saying I thought he went to the draft.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Jason Marshall's a sophomore though, and I think he's already about to take that role as like a
Good.
lockdown corner.
Good.
So
Okay.
so that's good for us. There's a lot of other people. I mean, I can name them all: Jaden Hill, Avery Helm, Rashad Torrance. There's a bunch more. They're all experienced. They got experience last year, so that's all good. I think we got transfer Jalen Kimber from Georgia.
Yeah.
He was supposed to start from y'all this year, so I
I
think
don't.
it's gonna.
Go ahead. My bad.
Well, I think Jason Marshall and Jalen Kimber are going to be the top two starting corners for the team
And
this year.
people will say, people are like, oh, no, Jalen, he just couldn't take it at Georgia, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, what Jalen wants, he wants the same thing that Brenton Cox wants. He wanted playing time. He wanted reps. People are like, oh, Brenton Cox isn't good. No, Brenton Cox was one of the best DNs we had. He was just on rotation with three Brenton Cox, Robert Beal, Nolan Smith, and freaking what's his name? Oh my god, and Adam Anderson. You had those 4 guys and Azeez Ojulari, who freaking broke the sack record at New York. Like, we had 5 guys who were all D1 with, and Jermaine Johnson, who went to Florida State.
And he killed it.
Yes.
Killed it.
And I knew when Jermaine and Brenton left, I told I was like, dude, they are going to get their reps and they're going to dominate. And like, because I loved all the DNs we got. I was so excited that Kirby had signed all of them, but you could tell all the in and out, pulling in and out, this and that. Like they got tired of that quick, bro.
Yeah, and it's funny. They get pulled in and out and in rotation, but Brenton Cox he's playing 3/4 of a game at Florida.
I know, and I know why Kirby's doing. He wants to stay fresh. I get it, but
to stay fresh, he recruits heavily, so there's always depth. So I understand.
This past year he didn't, and I was really happy. He actually said he felt like he had messed up a little bit and done a little too much, like rotating. And that's when he finally started leaving guys out there, and that's where Nolan and Robert Beal were able to just, get in a
I think
groove.
you noticed people leaving and people kind of want more reps.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. So, anyway,
seniority and all that, but yeah.
Guess we'll move on to cornerbacks. I'll let you start. I'll let you start with the cornerback.
Well, we just talked about most of them.
Okay. Yeah, you talking about with the safeties and all?
Yeah.
All right.
I kind of mixed them up.
I will give you mine then. I will give you a lot of the
Keely Ringo.
Yeah, for sure, Keely. Well, this is the thing for me that I am stupid excited about. We got Keely, who was the number 1 cornerback in the nation 3 years ago. So he'll be going into his 3rd year. Mm-hmm. This year we signed 4 5-star cornerbacks. That is the most that any team has ever done. And that's another historical thing from Kirby. Well, last year we got 2 5-star cornerbacks. So my hope is that Kirby, and I guess I think that's what's about to happen. I told you our linebacker room is speedy. I think he's going to be running a lot more nickel and dime where he can put 3 to 4 corners out on the field at a time, because you got 7 of them, 7 5-stars. I mean, that's not even counting the, 4 or 5 4-stars that have been there 2-3 years pretty good. So I am super excited to see how that goes. And I don't know, like I said, for me, there were 2 of them who were considered island cornerbacks. Like, like Kyrie Lam, you're talking about like people that you can just leave on that island. But one of them, his name's Julian Humphrey. I kid you not. This dude
wanted him to look. Y'all been taking too many cornerbacks.
Well, what I thought was neat, bro. This dude came out with a brand before he even stepped on campus called Humphrey Island. It's like T-shirts, and it's got an island and the palm tree, and across the top is Humphrey's Island. And I'm like, I don't care that dude's cocky. Yes. Like, bro, dude, if that's how you feel about it, go be about it,
Hey, yeah, he's good, though. I highly recruited.
So and so I just been super pumped. Out of the 4 or 5-stars, though, there's one that I think Kirby will end up putting at safety and letting him do a little bit of both, because I think he was like 6'2", 205 as a cornerback, bro. Like, the hell? Like, you don't see that.
The wingspan gotta be crazy.
Oh, I bet. Well, and that's the thing. Kelly Ringo is 6'2", 205. Well, he's probably 210 now, but coming in, he was that. So
if you're 6'2" as a safety, I mean, come on.
I know, and be able to move like that, yeah.
Move like that and all skills, yeah.
And that's, like I said, I'm crunk. I'm super excited about it. But I guess we'll finish up on this is what we had talked about earlier. Here we go. Season prediction. What's the record? What record prediction you got for Florida this year?
I'm gonna let you go first on this, because I probably got a little bit to say.
I'm not trying to be cocky when I say this, but I can't see any of the teams on our schedule giving us a chance. I'm thinking we'll go 12-0 in the regular season. I hate to say that because it sounds cocky, but we're playing Oregon, who is a first-year head coach, our previous defense coordinator. Yeah, and then everybody else down the line, I'm like, I guess Arkansas.
I mean, well, Kentucky getting better, Tennessee getting better. Are you not? And are you not worried at all? Or are you like kind of scared?
I say my worry would be Tennessee, not Kentucky, because they're gonna play power smash smash mouth football, we'll beat them at that.
Yeah.
But
And Kirby knows
Tennessee,
that.
because of that fastball offense, if Tennessee gets it down after being without 24 players and still were able to, I know they didn't dominate us, but to be able to do that to other teams, our offense can't score like it did last year. We can't rely on the defense to give the ball right back. We're going to have to score points to win games.
Yeah, I know this is kind of off topic, but how do you feel about this hurry up offense? I think it catches teams off guard, and you can really beat anybody with it. But
yes.
in my opinion, I don't think it's sustainable to go all year with it. In my opinion, I just don't think.
I know people hate Lane Kiffin, but the one thing just like I told you, I respect Michael Wayne. I'm an offensive coordinator nerd. There are times to use hurry up offense.
Yeah, instead of all the time.
Yes, when you go all the time, then you get yourself, you get off the field quick. You may score quick, but you get off the field quick.
Yeah, then defense then offense is tired from going so quick.
Yeah, exactly. Throwing nothing but fastballs the whole time. I think being able to run a good offense is good, but when needed, be able to go hurry up, and it shouldn't matter who's on the field. You could be running this play. What?
I would say the same. I would say knowing when to use it and being able to flip back and forth whenever you need to. I think that's the definition of being offensively solid. But I'm curious because Lane Kiffin does that and Josh Heupel. But like I said, they can beat any team in the country. They almost beat Alabama if you just catch them in a slump because you're running hurry up.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't allow them to rotate every. And I think that's where Georgia did a lot better this year because I told you we stopped all the rotation stuff. It was so nice to see teams try to run hurry up on us and us not be like, oh no, yeah, we need to put this, and it's like, no, coach, I'm good.
Yep.
Like I'm used to it. I'm not having to play 4 plays and then coming off 2 plays. Like, no, I can stay on for 8, 9 plays. Like that's what helped us against Tennessee and those teams that tried to fastball us. It was like that doesn't work on us like it works on, and that's where Alabama got caught up because they're still doing all the rotation. So. Yeah, for sure. For me though, like I said, that's it. I don't have anything else. What about you though? Record prediction.
Well, Florida usually has a pretty easy schedule. This year is not the case. There's LSU, A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky.
Dang, yeah.
Yeah, we got A&M too. I think there's another one. Oh, Utah. Come on now.
I know that's a toss-up game.
I ain't gonna lie. I think we'll beat somebody that we're not supposed to beat, but I think we'll lose to somebody we're not supposed to, like a South Carolina or something.
Got you.
So
and you got South Carolina just got what's his name from Oklahoma, Spencer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. He's gonna be good there.
Yeah, he will be, dude.
So in my opinion, we got 4. So A&M, LSU, Utah, and Georgia. That's 4 games that are really, really questionable.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say we win one of those we're not supposed to, and then we lose one we're not supposed to, and we go 8-4.
Okay.
And that would be a good season to me.
That would be. I feel that'd be great for y'all with first year head coach. It would definitely help to set that standard too.
Yeah, because he's out here recruiting hard.
Good. So you're saying he needs to back it up. He needs to. Yeah.
You got to set some kind of tone the first year.
Yeah.
Because you can't be selling just nothing. You got to sell that we're on the up. So you got to sell something.
Facts. Okay. Well,
y'all got everything y'all need to sell. So.
Well, fan expectations. All right. Coming off of a championship, my expectation for Georgia is just show me that you're trying to maintain that. We've seen teams like LSU. We've seen teams that have dropped off. Show me that you're trying to maintain it and show me that you're trying to get better. Don't just say, oh, that's the best we've been. Wow, man, I wish we could be like that again. No. What did we lack on? We lacked on offensive production. We defense was able to get the ball back to us 50 times a game. So, okay, well, now I can score within one of these 50 extra possessions. Like, what happens if the defense is not as good and we need you to score when we need you to score? Not fumble in a championship game and flick the ball up and it get intercepted going out of bounds. Like,
imagine if y'all had an elite offense last year.
Oh, yeah. It would have been like Joe Burrow and them offensively, but with less scores on defense. Like,
yeah, because LSU's defense wasn't that great. But anyway, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
So
but I think y'all
that's it for me
to get there. And Kirby's a good coach, so I think y'all are gonna not drop off. I think it'll be level from here on out.
Okay. All right. Well, what you got? what are the expectations of Florida?
Well, kind of more the same, but I want to see better recruiting, more improvement. Um, the players, the whole mood around the whole program is better now. So,
Good.
players are going to play harder, and that's really what matters the most. There's a culture being installed, which is everything I wanted to see. So,
Okay.
I just want to see improvement, just improvement. And
Yeah.
I look,
No, that's good.
Florida fans are probably the worst as far as wanting something right now.
Yeah.
I'm down to wait 2 or 3 years. I'm all good
Oh
with it.
yeah. And if Billy Napier is doing what I think he's doing and what you've kind of said he's doing as far as recruiting hard and creating a standard, it may be 2 to 3 years, but y'all could be back at Florida. Y'all could be
Yeah.
back at that standard. Not just we're pretty good, but we beat everybody, and then whoever wins that Florida Georgia game is going to the SEC championship. Like that type of, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you say then? This is last but not least. Program expectations. What do you think the expectation is from Florida or Billy Napier from the program, not from the fan?
From the program, I'd say to keep doing what he's doing and keep the
Yeah.
recruiting up. Because if he keeps doing that, the program expectation is a slow rise. Just keep
Okay.
on riding. Yeah. If it goes really bad, I don't think the program really cares as long as he's doing the right things. Like I said earlier, the culture and the recruiting. I don't think the program really cares.
Okay.
But the fan base does, and the fan base
Yeah.
will get fired or try to.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. I
the
know.
program as a whole, I think the program is loving every single bit of what they're seeing. And as long as it translates to the field, I think everything's all good there. But
Good.
it's a yet
Okay.
to be seen type of thing.
Yeah. No. I love that. That's a good point. For Georgia, I think the
Mm.
program expectation, Kirby could win 5 games next year and they'd still love his ass to death.
Right.
They don't matter though. But last year, like,
But
and it's like I get it. No, I think they just want to continue the whole recruiting, like killing the recruiting battle, or the recruiting trail. Um, See if you can pick up in areas, but I think the program and the fans kind of meet with this similar expectation in one area. Can we have elite quarterback play like these other championship teams do? Because if we could, like you said, an elite offense, we wouldn't need to have a historical defense just to beat Bama by 1 touchdown. If we had an elite offense, maybe we could win by 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like I told you, Bama had a Heisman quarterback. They had 2 first-round receivers that he was throwing to, 1,000-yard receivers apiece. Okay, they didn't do anything against Georgia in the first half. It was
Oh,
one big play. Like,
they would have lost that game because Jameson Williams got hurt.
yeah, and it's like, but my thing is, if we would have had a Heisman, if we would have had 2,000-yard receivers, and I know we don't throw the ball whole, we're a very balanced offense. I get that, but a Heisman quarterback would have been, what do you got? A walk on, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5. Like, bro, like they found Stetson Bennett at a foster care and said, "Hey, you know what football is? I try hard. Yeah, come on in. Like, get in here."
Yeah,
Like,
walk-ons and then 5 stars everywhere. What the hell's the difference
yes.
with that?
So, and I get it though that he tries really hard. This guy led the entire nation when he was in junior college in interceptions.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, like, I'm not knocking him. He just won a championship, but for the first 3 out of the 4 quarters, he played terrible. So what if we'd had a quarterback that played great for 3 out of 4 quarters instead of 1 out of 4?
Exactly.
So that's all. I think expectation is, can you do better with the offense? And yeah, I think Kirby was just playing it really safe though, because he wanted that championship. Like he wanted the first one.
Yeah, he did. I will say this. I think if y'all lose the East any year, I think Georgia people would just lose their mind. Y'all are expected, and the whole fan base and program, I think, expects y'all to win the East every year, which I don't blame them. But I think y'all gotta win the East every year.
I do.
As a perspective of you guys, in my opinion,
I
want to win.
I don't think if Kirby ever lost the East, it would take him having to lose the East either 2 times in a row or 2 to 3 times in 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
before I was like, all right, Kirby, like you falling off. But
that's true. That's true.
I don't think that'll ever happen. I think if anything, it's just going to raise the standard of these other teams
Yeah,
around the East to try to match his,
yeah.
you know.
That's exactly what it's doing. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
So,
Mm.
anyways, dude, I know we said this would only be 20 minutes. We doubled that. We did pretty good. Yeah. I mean, but we got everything out that we wanted, and I don't even feel like this lasted 40 minutes, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, and we didn't even go into details. So, yeah.
Yes. So it sounds like we do need to do more videos, but maybe like break off one piece, you know what I mean? And just go into detail about that. Because it sounds like a lot of content, you know?
It probably is. For real,
Yeah.
for real.
So anything you want to say though before we let everybody go?
No, I mean, this was fun. I definitely want to do more and talk about more stuff. And it don't have to be Florida. It doesn't have to be Georgia. It could be anything. But yeah, it's fun. I just like talking about stuff. So
that's not a bad idea. No, that's actually not. We may do that. We may start. We'll come up with like a little list or something. We'll do like a brainstorm, and me and you can kind of put together like topics. You know.
Yeah, and after the off season, it'll just get way more heavy too. There's not really much going on now. There's little things here and there, but it's really nothing major.
It's also a great time for us to be starting this as the beginning of the off season. You know, that way by the time season gets here, hopefully everybody will be accustomed and used. Yeah. So, anyways, your boy Tiger Baskins and your boy Fishing Football, bringing you another day of college football. I guess that's it for me. Anything you got before I end it?
That's it, man.
All right, sounds good. Appreciate you, Fishing.
All right, bro.